What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Baron's Hideout podcast. I'm Little Elf Naked Dustin Man.
And I'm Big Naked Elf Dustin?
Yeah, there we go. All right. We've already kicked off our holiday season with doing the ever so great Jack Frost, not the Michael Keaton one. But once Dustin was like, hey, let's do some holiday movies, I immediately said, hey, let's do rare exports. So with doing that, we had to bring someone on, man. Dustin, who we bring?
We brought the amazing Scream Queen, Anna.
Hello,
We're twinsies.
We're twins.
Yeah,
We're twinning.
Somebody's gonna have to change.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm in my Mighty Gym shirt right now. I went to the gym,
saying.
so I had to keep it on, man.
All I'm saying is you will not get suplexed by Tom O'Bannon, okay?
Okay.
Nah, him won't get you. So, Anna, thank you for jumping on with us. We're super fucking stoked that you're here.
Yes, me too. I'm excited to be
now.
here. For now.
Yeah.
But let's get into rare exports. Let's get these Rotten Tomato scores out of the way. Start shooting the shit about this movie. So, with 105 critic reviews.
Wow.
Anna, what do you think this movie's sitting at?
105. And it's also a foreign film, so and you gotta read subtitles, which a lot of people aren't too keen on.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Critic or not. Let's go 65. 65%.
Okay. Lil D?
What year did this come out? It was like 20 something, right?
Like 2011?
2011?
Is that what it says?
Yeah, a while back.
2010, yeah.
2010. Okay. I don't know. I might have to go a little bit opposite with you. Because a lot of people love foreign films, but this one, I feel like it was a bit different than what other people were probably expecting. So I'm gonna go like 48%.
You were close, Lil D.
Was I?
89%.
Dang.
Wow, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Certified fresh. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, now with over 10,000 audience score. Anna, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go lower and do, especially with the year this came out too. I mean, horror's been kind of big lately, but a foreign horror film around that time. We'll do 43%.
All right, Lil D.
Oh, man, this is whenever we go to the audience, I'm always like, is it going to be the opposite of the critic? Is it going to be aligned with the critic? Because we've had a couple close calls with the critics and the audience being like almost right there. So I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna say it's sitting at like an 83%.
70%.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Little popcorn and certified fresh, dude. So let's round robin
awesome.
this. Anna, was this your first time watching rare exports?
It sure was. I had never heard of this, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's one of those little gems. It's got a great runtime, great story, and yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting it to be, especially where we get with the end of it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. Dustin, what about you, man?
So I've heard of this film a lot. Have I watched it? No, this is my first time watching it. But I know it's definitely a name around this time of year people throw out a lot, like rare exports. It's always on the list of Christmas horror films to watch. And I'm like, I haven't checked it out. So when you said we got to do rare exports, I'm like, now I finally have an excuse to go and watch this. And did I have fun watching it? Yeah, I'd say I did. Where there's some parts in it that maybe I was like looking at my phone for a second or two. Yeah. But for the most part, I thought this was a pretty solid, take on Santa Claus and Christmas. It is being a foreign film, how it is, however they see Christmas in that area of the world, because I guess this takes place technically. What did we say before we went? It was
It's Sweden.
It's Sweden.
It's got like so many different like areas that this was, but they mainly say like Russia, right? I think it's like the main place where
Yeah.
we feel like we're taking
Yeah.
place. But no, I thought it was good. This movie definitely made me feel very cold. This is
Oh
like,
my
I was just like,
God,
I'm
dude.
cold. And I'm not
Yeah,
even
no
cold, but I
kid.
feel cold.
Dude.
Mhm.
And then you got that little boy running around in his fucking briefs, just like it's nothing. I'm like, dude. I'm like, you're gonna
Put
die.
some britches on,
That's
son.
what I'm saying. For me, this is a first time watch as well. This one's always been on my radar for
Nice.
holiday movies, and I kind of learned about this when I watched. Was it Better Watch Out? Is that the Home Alone meets the Purge movie?
I
I
think
haven't
so.
seen that. I've wanted to watch it.
Oh my! Do yourself a
Is it
solid.
good? Okay, I'll do
There's a
that.
huge twist in it that's really fucking rad.
Okay, okay.
But this is one where I'm like, all right. And then I see the Santa in it. I'm like, okay, he's creepy as fuck, dude. Let's get into that. And it pulled the rug right out from under me, man, because when it went 80s and you learned what this is, I'm like, oh, all right. My only gripe is I'm blind as fuck, is the subtitles were just white text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me something to help me see them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because I don't know about you guys, but I actually didn't see any of the old man dong in this movie. I don't know if you guys got to enjoy that, because I didn't.
Saw.
Yeah, I saw as well.
Just swinging in the wind, baby.
Flop. So much Wang was flopping, especially once they all he's herding them in at the end. I was like, Lord have
Yeah,
mercy.
they're just running.
They're all running. And you just hear like slapping on their
You hear
legs.
slapping.
But that's my history, man. I have little to none, just like you guys, which is super awesome that we all got to experience this movie together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess let's just dive into it, man. Let's round robin what we felt about it and start with Anna.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I read the synopsis or whatever, but I didn't watch any trailers or anything like that. And I've started doing that more here lately, and it's kind of starting to pay off a little bit. But I really, really like movies where adults don't treat the kids like they're idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad kind of does. He's stressed. Like, he's a single parent. Yeah. Obviously something happened to the mom, and his whole source of income has just been taken from him. And it's Christmas, like that makes it even worse. And so you really feel for this family. I especially did. I really related to that. But this little boy is a lot smarter than his dad's giving him credit for. And I think a lot of kids are that way. I know I was. I literally just had this conversation earlier about kind of giving my daughter a little bit more trust than I was given, because there was times like when I was growing up where I knew things that were going on, and maybe there were money problems or mom and dad were arguing, and they didn't want to put anything on me because I was a kid. And I wanted to be that for them, because being an only child, I didn't have anybody else to turn to. It was them, and I wanted them to confide in me the way I did in them. So I think it's really cool when kids get to be the heroes in movies like this, because, dude, this kid at the end of this movie is literally about to sacrifice himself to save everyone. Mm-hmm. And he's like, tell dad what I did. He's yelling up at his dad's friend who's flying the helicopter, and you're just like, he cannot die. Like, please don't let him die. But and even to that, it was a happy ending. In the ending, then at the end you get the title. Like, you get it. The rare exports.
Why it's called what it's called. Yeah.
And you see what they're doing, and it's really charming and kind of heartwarming. Mm-hmm. And I just really loved it. I really did. And then the setting too, like you said, Dustin, about feeling cold. I felt the same way. The setting's beautiful. Like, that's a whole other character on its own in this movie. Mm-hmm. And it creates a whole other element to the plot and that boy in his little underwear, when he gets scared at the beginning and he falls off, it's so cute. And I love, he's got his little stuffed animal, and he's still a kid. I love that. We get two parallels in him. He's carrying his stuffed animal around on a leash, but he's got his rifle slung over his back.
Yep. As big as he is, dude.
I know. It's as tall as he is. It's so cute. And it's just, man, That little boy kicked so much ass. And yeah, it's just a really like get up and cheer kind of movie at the end of it. So yeah, I really loved it.
Did they ever explain like what happened to the reindeer? Like why they were all mutilated? Was it because of we learned that the old man in the trailer is in fact an elf.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's hundreds of them by the end of this movie, but like the elves look like old, the Santa Claus we know, not Krampus, because that's what I took from that. Like that,
same.
Like the one that was big frozen. But did they kill the reindeer? Like again, like so. Half of this movie is set with a white backdrop, and the subtitles are fucking white, and I can't see what they're saying. So, but what broke me is like when they're sitting there, the dad and the son are sitting there having dinner of gingerbread cookies.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, man, and the dad is just snapping on this kid like constantly. And the little kid looks up at him and goes, "Are you mad at me for something?" I'm like, dude, like that's gotta be the worst feeling when you're not intentionally doing that.
Yeah.
And the kid literally says, "What did I do wrong?" You're like, "You didn't do fucking anything wrong. It's just me." I was like, man, I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that shit, man.
Dude, as a parent, I relate to that really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I love his dickhead friend, the little boy, like the other little boy with the mullet, dude, that's like telling him about Santa not being real. And this little kid's like, yes, the fuck he is. Like I have these books,
I know.
And the books are all like demonic drawings of Santa. Dude, it was fucking tight. But no, all in all, I loved this movie. I thought it was a ton of fun. Like it was a breath of fresh air on the lore of Santa Claus. And the only thing I wish is there was a little bit more monster in it. Like, because we see like, there's a lot of the build up to revealing these elves is kill scenes, but we don't get to see them. We just see like helmets thrown and like this guy's like teams disappearing. Give me more of that, or at least show it. Fucking show me the monster, Like I want to see why they're afraid of these things. But and it's a small gripe. That is a tiny. Other than that, and that little kid running around his fucking tidy whities out in the fucking negative 30 degrees. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get frostbite. And nothing I can do to help you. So Dustin, what about you, man?
Oh man, yeah. This movie, it's shot so well. The colors are amazing. There was just a lot that I did like about this movie, and going back to that scene with the father and son, and he's also like, "What would you be happy if like I disappeared?" Or whatever. He was like asking those questions too, and was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Yeah, you should disappear into your bed." And I'm just like, "Oh Jesus Christ, dude, this is crazy." And he's like, he's asking about his mom. He's like, "Yeah, these cookies just as good as like mom made." And he's like, I love to hear that. And like that just speaks so much to me as a parent, because you're trying so hard, to make everything as comfortable and as great for your kid as possible, especially since we know that his money, all his livestock is gone, right? So where's the source of income now for him to go and support his child, that whole scene, like, I think really, really got me. But also the reveal of what this thing is, after it gets into like the trap and they bring it out, and they're like, "Oh, well, we gotta get rid of it somehow," and they're like, "We're about to like chop it open," and then like, "Oh wait, he's breathing." We're like, "Did you see that?" And then like, that's when it all really starts to turn. And like, I love the whole imagery of this guy just like lunched over, just in the corner, and he's just all gray and old. Like this movie, it's very gray filtered, and the blood, I feel like it really is prominent in a lot of the scenes, but there is blood being shown. So I like those scenes. And also another thing was at the end when the little boy is like, "Oh, I gotta go open up the gate," and he's like, "Well, I can't, put the helicopter down to get you back up." He's like, "I'm not coming back," and I was just like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like,
he was he was
out.
He was ready to go.
Where did his friend learn to fucking fly a helicopter? Like, they don't have one, and how does he know how to do that? Like I don't get it. Like,
Maybe he
Santa
was
Claus
in
gig,
some
man.
military or something. Maybe he used to be like.
they don't let us know that like
I
at all.
know.
Yeah, it's
But
a
what did he
movie.
do for a living though? Like why was the livestock like so prompt that he do to the livestock, the reindeer, what they do at the end of this movie? Like were they like selling reindeer?
Yeah, he's like a butcher. He
Yeah, that's what I was
know,
thinking.
but people are gonna eat them and not take a reindeer face value. Like they're just gonna they just want meat of the reindeer.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think
that's
so.
fine.
Maybe like the horns or something too, like kind of how they did at the
Yeah.
end. They cut the horns off and kept it. Maybe that's something they knew.
Oh, that's
Maybe
a fucking
the pelt
trope.
too. They use like the fur and stuff for maybe coats. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. I mean, they're like wilderness people living out off the land for the most part, like
Sure.
Pumpkinhead style, like making one trip into town a month, living in the holler, but in Russia.
Fucking Razorback holler. Oh,
So
you've stepped into the right place. We're talking about Pumpkinhead, Anna.
Oh yeah,
I know.
man. We still,
Pumpkinhead
still
fan.
do that.
We'll get there. But yeah, so I guess I really just wish we got a little bit more monster from the elf side. But like Dustin was saying, dude, like when this dude smells the kid
Mhm.
and his attention like diverts to all that, dude, that's fucking weird, dude. It was creepy as fuck. And then when he's all hunched over, like you're saying, and then he stands up and he's like a literal skeleton with skin on, dude. Like that's like Christian Bale style method acting. Like it's
Yeah.
Machinist.
it's wild, like seeing that thin of a person, but he resembles Santa. He's got the big white beard, like what we know as Santa. Big white beard, old man.
He's got the red coat. Yeah.
He's got the red coat, yeah. But dude, like they end up stealing the little kids in this movie because they like the main boy reveals that they're the ones that cut the hole in the fence that allowed these things to get in there and all that shit. And he's like, you need to fucking whip me because I've been bad. I'm like, dude, he went out and picked his own switch. I don't know if you guys ever had to do that, but I did.
I did too. Yeah.
No.
Go out there.
I can cross that off my list. I have not done that.
Nope. I had to go out there and pick my own switch, and it can't be one that broke on the first swing.
Yeah. Yep.
You know
Same.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's wild because like he goes up, and I always laughed. I laughed out loud because he goes up to his dickhead friend's house, and he goes upstairs, and he's like, "Hey, and there's a little Hey Boy in there." And anytime I hear Hey Boy, I think of the Weird Al movie where there's a fucking Hey Boy in his bed. And it's dude, but that's another thing is like these parents don't even know their children are missing.
No, like they're so like close together out there too, and very much everyone knows everyone. You can let your kids run around for hours on end outdoors and not be worried that they're not safe. And so that's what you're saying. Like it takes them forever to even realize something's going on.
Yeah, and to that it's like
the
butcher
calls around to all the friends, right? Like he's like, "Hey, is so in there?"
He's checking around. Yeah, he's making a list and crossing it off. Ironically,
checked it twice. Yeah, but no, it's to the like what you were just saying, Anna. Like to the point where like the town cop knows this little boy, and the fact that the dad is covered in blood doesn't even question what type of blood it is.
Right.
Let alone it's this old fucking man that they're chopping up.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's small town mentality like that, dude. And it was just bonkers to see that it's in a different culture, in a different country. Like the camaraderie that they have is the same that we have and all that shit, dude. But man, I love like when because they have the one friend that speaks English, the tough guy.
Funny.
Yeah,
dude.
I like him.
And the whole time, like he's trying to communicate with the elf, and the dad steps out because he catches the little boy acting like being a kid, like just being around when he's told not to be and all that shit. And then he comes back in and they're all beat up and the dude got bit in the neck and the broomstick was bitten in half.
Yeah.
That shit, dude. Like I wanted to see what happened. Like, show me that. But dude,
and I love in that moment too, because he's talking to his son and he hears what's going on and he does this, but he's still like trying to be a parent in that moment and listen to his son. And then it's like, as soon as he gets out, he's back in. And it's like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. You don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude. Yeah, but this whole ending I like because we get reintroduced to the guy at the beginning of this movie. Hands over this construction site like a checklist, a new I guess a guidance list. Like here's new company policies and it's don't smoke, wash behind your ears.
Yeah.
Like that, dude.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what the fuck do you mean wash behind your ears? He's like, just do it. Just fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And all up until now, these villagers, they feel like they found Santa Claus. And they have him in this giant cage. And they're like, all right, we'll show you. And then I love like the guy's immediate like distress. He goes, smile as politely as you can and start walking the fuck away. That's not Santa. But then we start seeing like them pop up like little silhouettes.
That was so creepy.
Dong hanging out and all, dude.
And then you find out they're naked, and it's like, hold up, wait, what?
Yeah, and it's cold, so
There's not much to flop.
No one judged them because it's cold outside, okay? Yeah, dude, but they're bare-assed, man, and they're booking it.
Yeah.
Dude, when they fucking hurl that knife at the old buddy's head, and I don't know how it hits up here, but it does, dude. But I love it.
They got that special aim, that magic Santa.
It's Santa magic. There you go. Yeah.
Santa magic. Yeah. Christmas magic. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of the chimney, when he puts the bear trap in the chimney.
Oh my god!
And the dad's like, "You could have killed me."
Yeah. What the fuck? It was good shit.
Good.
But I like how he throughout the whole movie, like this little boy is like, there's an advent calendar that he's messing around with, opening up. And it gets to Christmas Eve and he tapes it shut and everything. He's not opening it because he knows what he did was bad and all this and that. And I love how at the end of this movie, they're at the hangars and there's the big 24 on the hanger. And he goes,
yeah.
Everyone's radiators had been stolen. The dude's wife's hair dryer had been stolen.
Yeah.
The fact that he knows it's hers by sniffing it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Maybe once again, small village. There's probably not very many women around there.
I was gonna say, is she the only woman there now? Like,
well, she might be the only woman that smells like that.
Yeah.
True. There you go.
Very possible.
Or maybe she's the only one around. They make a comment about the hairdryer. Isn't it like his wife had to have a fancy hairdryer or something like that? Like they make a comment about it earlier in the movie. And then maybe like my wife's hairdryer's missing or something.
Yeah, he brings it up, and they're like that old hunk of junk. And he goes, "Oh, it's the biggest highest technology thing ever made for hairdryer."
Yeah, in this
about
area,
where they leave it.
Mm-hmm. And I love when he sticks it in front of his pants too, like a gun,
like a fucking gat, dude.
There's great little moments of comedy in this that just kind of pop up, and it kind of makes you go, wait, am I supposed to laugh? But then you do, and it still works.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the three older guys, whenever they're together on the screen, like there's always some kind of weird hijinks going on, and you're always laughing at it. Whether it's like the clumsy guy who has like a Santa job that he has to go and do. He's like, I'm gonna be late. I gotta leave. I need to go do the Santa job now. And he's like over there just getting his ear bit off, or the guy who can speak English. And he doesn't even realize his son's missing. And then he goes there and starts talking to everybody who speaks English, and they're still not understanding what he's saying. It's just really, really funny.
I know, yeah.
His replies to them in English. It's like he speaks it, he doesn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And his replies are just so fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole point is like they dug up like this behemoth like out of the ice, dude, and he is massive. And they're trying to thaw him out because it's Santa. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
And the little boy comes up with the cool plan to like, hey, these things are fucking attracted to the scent of these children. Let's lure them away so we can handle this. And the dad's like, that's a good idea. I should have came up with that.
Yeah.
Dude, the fact that this little kid is hanging on to this fucking net while the helicopter's flying away, dude, just pissed me off, man. I'm like, just get in the helicopter. Just get in it. There's an extra seat. I promise.
Mm-hmm. He has to have his hero moment. Yeah.
But it worked. Like
it worked. Yeah.
The gaggle of elves ended up just like like you see, it's cool. It's like the scene from The Lion King with the gazelle.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
chasing this fucking like net of children, and that leaves everyone the other two adults to their device with the frozen block of ice, dude. And when they blow that shit up, and you got the dad laying in the back of the truck, and everything's blowing in his face. I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Like
when
he was just
walking out
enjoying
with the giant horns too.
Yeah, that was
Cut
badass.
off
They're like-
the horns.
They're mounting
like-
like that's their kill, so they're gonna like take their piece of it and take it home and mount it.
They're a trophy, yeah. They're like
Yeah.
bantha horns, dude. Like they're just massive. And no one's gonna believe what they had to fucking do to get these. You know what I mean? Like if they have someone, the new sheriff, the sheriff comes over, like, where'd you get those? Funny story, man. We killed Santa.
Yeah,
Horns.
who took his horns?
Fucking wild, dude. But yeah, like these old dudes they kind of like the little boy understands enough of what his dad's business was because he like where the reindeer was, where he corralled all these old dudes.
Yeah.
And I love. Which one of you guys would buy an old Santa man for Christmas?
Would buy an old Santa man?
Never would I.
Apparently that business is booming because they had so many fucking crates of these elves that they turned into Santas.
It's a booming. That they've got somebody. They know somebody somewhere.
The malls.
The malls, yeah.
The
That would have
malls.
to be it. Malls.
There's gotta be like a cult, something. Hell, I don't know. Some kind of cult where they gotta call the leader to distribute the Santas at the malls all over the world.
I love how it's like the montage of them. It's like January, it's like December 26th, and it shows them like grooming these elves to be Santas
Yeah.
because they look like Santas, and then the line of them that when they're pulling them, there's like the line of them with like the dolls, and they're like sitting on their laps and holding presents, and you have the one that's like shaking it, putting it in his fucking in that box, dude.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a year-long process, and I love that because then they end up like rare exports becomes these guys that are being shipped out in boxes that people are purchasing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Thinking about it now, maybe I would.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe I'd
On
buy
second thought.
an old Santa man. Maybe.
Yeah. What would happen if they didn't turn out how they wanted them to, though? And they
There's the
distributed.
sequel.
I'd just return them.
You got to
I
catch
want
it
my money
first,
back.
yeah.
You got a 30-day return policy.
This one tried to fuck my wife. I want it returned.
Ain't nobody fucking my wife but me.
Yeah. Fuck, man, that movie was a ton of fun.
It
It
was.
was.
Just
It
a
really,
blast.
really
It was
was.
a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it was a good
So-
When I
movie.
posted about it on Instagram too, I had a couple people like message me and then comment like, "Man, this is a really good movie." I think Spoils Before actually commented and was like, "We covered this last year. It's really good." I was like,
Hell
"Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
I just must be one of the last ones to hear about it." Apparently,
Apparently, all three of us were the last
I
ones to
know.
watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
isn't that crazy?
I think it's
So-
definitely going to be added to a yearly watch for sure. I'll probably end up watching it again before Christmas because I don't know, this movie, like, there's not like a lot going on, but there's enough for you to maybe have missed a few things, like some of the lines we're
Sure.
talking about earlier, but like the hair dryer and stuff like that. I need to go back and like watch, and I want to see the whole unfolding of them discovering what this thing is again, because that whole build up was great. Yeah, I thought it
Yeah.
had some pretty good tension too, along with some comedy of being like, what's going on with this fucking old
Yeah.
man, you know?
Yeah, why's his dick out? God.
I'm glad you bring that up, Dustin, because I actually did watch it. I watched it the other day, but then I put it on this afternoon before we started and just kind of had on. I was like half watching it.
Yeah.
But the beginning, like I saw in a whole new light now that I know how the movie plays out.
Yeah.
And just them discovering the reindeer and everything that's said about Santa and things like that. I was like, okay, this kind of makes not really a little more sense, but it kind of does in a way. And yeah, I think this is one that does warrant 2 watches at least.
Sure.
And if you enjoyed it enough the first time, give it a second watch and you'll see some stuff that you've missed for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So let's get into rating this bad boy. Anna,
Hmm.
out of 5 stars, what would you give Rare Exports?
I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 little Santa elves.
Wow.
Little old naked boys.
Naked Santa elves.
4 out of 5 liver spotted asses.
Yes, liver spotted asses. Yeah, this is a gem. I mean, if y'all are listening to this and you haven't heard of it either, highly recommend. And especially if you're a horror fan, I wouldn't say it's too gory or too bloody. I mean, other than the nudity and stuff like that and the language, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty standard for most horror fans. Like, I don't think there's anything in it that you couldn't handle per se. But yeah, it's a gem. It's a short watch. If you love the kid hero story arc subplot, then this one's definitely for you as well.
Oh yeah.
Dustin, how many little naked elf men do you give this movie?
Oh man. I think I did actually put this on Letterboxd, and I gave it a 4 as well. 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Hell yeah.
And my own rating scale, I'd probably give this. It's definitely above average. I would say it's a very fresh take on a tale we've heard so many times, and all these other creepy Santas and horror movies out there. I think this one kind of goes above a lot of those for how fresh it is, and I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10 personal score. It's a lot of fun. If you can get past seeing some naked Santa ass and dong,
Some ass naked.
A dong flopping.
You really enjoy this one, but I think even with that, it adds like a weird comedic effect to seeing all these old men just running around.
It does.
Going through the forest and snow. I thought it was really cool. Do I wish we had more of Santa/Krampus? Of course. I mean, they set up this massive fucking thing, these huge ass horns. I'm just like, I want to see this thing thought out. And we never got there because they blew the fucking thing up, which I mean, rightfully so. I think that thing was unleashed. I think everybody's dead. There is no more Earth to go to. But the scenery was beautiful. I thought the cinematography was great. I want to say that this was possibly shot on film, but I'm not sure. I think some of the way that it looked like it was shot on film, but it could have been digital. I thought the acting was really, really good, and what we discovered early on too, before I think we jumped into this, was that the father and son were actual father and son, right? Yeah. So
that's really cool.
They were great with the chemistry on there, and the little heartwarming, maybe sad parts between them at dinner, eating gingerbread cookies, asking if that's the only thing they're eating. I think added a lot of more humanity to this type of story. I laughed really, really hard when they went in the building and it was just all the kids just in sacks. I'm like, oh, there's all the kids.
They are.
I thought that was
just
pretty
chilling.
funny.
At least they were warm.
Yeah,
there you go.
Next to
right?
the radiators. That was another thing. It's like, someone went around and stole all the radiators. Like,
yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
It's like, who the fuck wants all these radiators? And then you got the big reveal
I'll tell you,
later on.
That damn Sasquatch.
Damn Sasquatch.
I thought it was really good, and for whatever practical effects there were, with all the dead reindeer everywhere, I imagine it was all practical. It didn't look CGI to me at all. The only CGI that you can clearly tell is like the last 8 minutes or so of the helicopter scene. But even besides that, this film was really, really solid and really fun. So definitely check it out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5 inches. Small but mighty, baby. Yeah, 3.5. This was a delight to watch. I do need to rewatch it, like you guys are saying, but again, it's tough for me to read these subtitles because they're talking so fast and the color. It's just hard to keep up with because I can't see it. It's not the fact that I'm not willing to.
Right.
But as you were just saying, dude, as for the CG, I can guarantee you if Santa did get thawed out, that would have been CGI. Because
Yeah,
when
no
he was
doubt.
when he was in the big block of ice, you can tell all that was CG. The horns were CG. They were only practical when they were walking out with. Was it a breath of fresh air for the Santa? Yep. And I did really like the dynamic of the father and son because you actually felt the father and son, as we, like you just said, we learned that they were actually real life father and son. I really like that dynamic
Same.
a lot. I just wish there was more monster in it, dude. Like, show me how monstrous these elves can be.
Yeah.
Like, not just an aftermath or people stumbling upon what they did. I want to see it happen. But that's really it. That's my only real big gripe. It does warrant a rewatch, and that's all I got, man. I'm done talking about Old Man Pecker.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dustin, what you got for us to get out of here, man?
We have this really, really cool design on a really, really cool shirt that somebody really, really cool made for us. That we got two lovely people over here wearing them. Mine is unfortunately dirty, but I'm also wearing a really cool shirt. So I mean,
your shirt trumps ours, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
It's dirty because you already wore it.
Yeah,
but
you beat us
we
to
got a really cool shirt out right now that's up for grabs. We have a limited run right now for whoever wants them, and once that goes, we'll most likely make some more as long as the demand is there. And I like to always let everybody know that they are being pressed by the lovely, lovely Lady D over there.
Lady D. Oh man, I kiss every single one of them, so you guys should be stoked on it.
Hell yeah,
Hell
he does. Mine has permanent lipstick on it. He like pressed it.
That's not lipstick.
It's not lipstick.
Yeah,
it's even special.
Even more special.
More special.
Yeah.
But if you guys want one of those shirts, you can go ahead and DM us anywhere. If you're a Patreon supporter, you guys get a discounted price, so you can DM us there as well. And we're getting towards the end of the year here, and we have some really cool plans for the beginning of the year. And for the rest of the year, we have quite a few things we have lined up that I'm really, really excited for. As everybody knows, we have that new segment. We'll have another one this month. It's Tales from the Barrens, where we go and highlight at least 3 shorts, and we make our own little story arc, or just highlighting these really, really cool short films. That was an idea that, once again, Lady D over there said for us to do. And I like that idea of, just picking some random shorts, talking about them, because I feel like it's a format that's not talked about or supported enough unless you're going to festivals. So for us to do that here is really, really cool. And it was a fun time doing this. Anna, thank you so much for being here. And as always,
thanks for having me.
I love having you on here, dude. And I'm thankful every single day I have you here as a co-host to go and do the show, because you brought so much.
I was talking about you.
Oh, you. You brought so much life to the show, and I gush about it a lot, and I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing about it, but to feel alive doing this show and seeing where it's going, and I got the Spotify Wrap today, and seeing that it is going on the up and up, it's really, really cool. And thank you for everybody supporting us, whether you're watching on YouTube, listen to us on any of the audio platforms. It's a great time, and I feel like a lot of the movies we've been picking lately have been fucking bangers too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
except for House of Dolls.
Hey, that was your pick, man.
That was my pick.
That was you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I have over here. Anna, is there anything that you've got going on that you want to give a little bit of shout out to?
I'm doing some guest spots over on Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies as well. This Tuesday coming out will be 30 Days of Night. I was on there reviewing it. It's a good ass movie, and it's one that it's one of those ones I wore out when it came out, and it was like a comfort movie. Oddly enough, haven't revisited it in years, and it still holds up. It still really holds up, and yeah, having fun with the fellas over there, just kind of bouncing around. Unfortunately, Cinema Slab is no more. It's unexpected, and that's really all I'm going to say about it because I don't really feel like it's my place to kind of talk about that kind of stuff here. But I'm still Anna. I'm still the Scream Queen always. That's who I was before Cinema Slab, and that's who I'm always going to be. Still love movies and love to talk about them. So I'm just kind of a podcast nomad right now, hopping around, searching for a place to maybe crash, possibly move into. We'll have to see.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Sheesh. So this episode comes out around Christmas time, and we just want to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. We hope you have a good time with friends and family. And
For
good movies. Watch fucking good movies. So
spend some time together and watch some movies.
Eat deviled eggs. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Go see some old man dong.
Or old man dog. Show this movie to your grandma. She might like it.
Yeah. Is that what I think it is?
It sure is,
Grandma. It sure is, Grandma.
It sure is. Here,
get a
magnifying glass up.
He's pretty cute.
Pause it.
Pause it.
All right, let's get out of here, Dustin.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, and thank you for everybody who supports us. It means a lot, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Later.